We're in one of the most beautiful places on our planet, and if you look behind me, you will see the very famous Table Mountain, which means we're on the southern tip of Africa in Cape Town. And what better place to come and ride, test and review this Italian handmade sculpture. Now I'm talking about the Moto Guzzi MGX 21 Flying Fortress. Now you ask yourself, why MGX? Why Flying Fortress? The MGX stands for Moto Guzzi Experimental. Now, why experimental? Moto Guzzi is not known for building baggers. That is the American market, and so Moto Guzzi had this designed and developed in California, finding out what the Americans look for in a bagger and then putting on their own spin and flair onto it. So it is the Moto Guzzi Experimental, MGX. The next designation is the 21, and no, it's not Route 21, I wish, but it refers to the monstrous 21-inch front wheel. You can see highlighted with this beautiful carbon disc in it, as well as the red Brembo brakes. So 21 for the 21-inch front wheel, which is in line with what baggers are all about in the design. And some people might think it has to do with the 1921 birth year of Moto Guzzi, but no, it actually has to do with the 21-inch front wheel. Now, the next part, the Flying Fortress in the name, is actually, the name Flying Fortress was given to a B-17 bomber of World War II, and it was called the Flying Fortress because it was a monstrous bomber with numerous gun turrets that was so imposing in the sky it looked like a fortress. Now, when you first walk up this motorcycle, you actually are intimidated by it. It is massive. It is like a flying fortress. And the funny story is, when I first went up to the petrol station, the petrol attendant actually said to me, this looks more like a plane than a bike. Now, as per Henry Ford, you can get this Moto Guzzi MGX in any color you like, as long as it is black. And it is accentuated with all these carbon panels here on the tank, around the sides, the bagger bags at the back, natural carbon, your front mud guard, natural carbon with the carbon disc here, and a matte clear coat over it. What's really nice with this bagger is that, yes, it might be for the American market, but Moto Guzzi did not sell out. They stayed true to their design and their ethics and the whole concept of Moto Guzzi, and that is this V twin motor, air and oil cooled, in a transverse layout. And as you can see here, they have managed to make a bagger with a 90-degree V-twin 1400cc monster motor in the traditional air and oil cooled transverse layout. Not only that, they stayed true to their design and went with a shaft drive all the way to the back, hidden behind the bag at the back. So really a true Moto Guzzi, American design and Italian flair with it. Really great all-round motorcycle. I think let's not waste any more time, get straight onto her and go for a ride. The first thing you notice when picking this bike up from the side stand is its 320 kilogram dry weight. With a tank capacity of 20.5 liters, it is around about the 340 kilograms wet weight. And you do notice that picking it up off the side stand. But once you get going, it really is a peach. You don't feel that weight, and super smooth. I must say, I love this iconic transverse motor highlighted with the red heads. There's really ample space between my shins and this motor. The foot pegs are mounted mid to forward, and just really a comfortable position, sitting low in the bike, upright, wide handlebars, typical bagger. This 1400cc motor is a 1380 to be precise cc. It puts out 96 horsepower and 120 newton meters, which is plenty. This bike is not here to race down. the boulevards, but just to cruise. Open face helmet, radio on, just looking cool, enjoying the freedom of riding bike. And I'm doing just that. And one of the best locations possible, Cape Town. Right up ahead you see famous Table Mountain, sunset, beautiful time of day. Look at that sight. And then I'm behind this beautiful dashboard, and what I really like about this at first glance would be that it's the non-conformant to today. Everything has the large rectangular TFT display, and this has the two retro modern clocks. Retro in that they old school round analog around the outside. If you'll see on the left you have your speedo, on the right your revs, but in the center you have the round digital display. On the left, everything to do with your radio. On the right you have your digital speed, your fuel, your range, time, even the gear indicator up here, and all the information, everything you need. There are 3 rider modes on this bike: rain, touring and race, which would be in Italian like the Turismo for touring, Veloce for your racing mode. And the screen up ahead is really not that functional. It protects up to about your chest neck area, but what's really nice is that the Italians sometimes prefer style to function, and that's missing in this world today, with everything coming off the same jelly molds, same CAD CAM, everything just too perfect. This is just all about style. And the speakers built into these triangular winglets, which make it look a bit Batmobile and more something coming out of the movies of Star Trek or Star Wars. Just a fun piece. And I think the matte black paint really goes well with it. It's like Henry Ford said, you can have any color you like as long as it's black, and this being the matte black. And the natural carbon pieces accentuating it, they are finished in a matte clear finish. And you have the front mudguard, these pieces flaring out on the petrol tank. You've got the bagger covers on the side, surrounds around the rear mudguard. You've got your front mudguard and the disc in front, so quite ample natural carbon on this. Then you have the Brembo brakes, top kit, really good stopping power, which you need on something over 300 kilos. Gives you good confidence, these brakes. Suspension feels really good. You have a hydraulic adjuster under my right leg should you wish to take a pillion rider with. So all round proper piece of machinery. The American bagger, designed in California, built in Mandello del Lario, hand built by real craftsmen. Attention to detail, the build quality is just superb from what I can see and feel on this bike. It's solid. Yes, it weighs 320 kilos, but it's a proper piece of kit. No shortcuts taken here. We have reviewed the V7 Carbon, the limited edition, in a previous episode. Then we've had a look at the 3 carbons by Moto Guzzi, side by side, the V7 Carbon Limited next to the Audace Carbon, and then this Flying Fortress Carbon. Now this is part of this 3-part series where we're having a look at one of these. We'll have a look at the Audace in another episode, but really for a first attempt by Moto Guzzi to do a bagger, I think they nailed it. If you want to be different from the crowd, this is the bagger to ride, not what everyone else has. Sadly, however, this MGX 21 was an experimental, and due to the stringent Euro emission 5, they couldn't get this motor through that Euro emission 5, so this bike was only produced between 2017 and 2018. So fortunately there are, I think, 4 more floating around in South Africa in crates, and I got to ride the demo one. So really a privilege. And if you come down to Cape Town, IMI, the Italian motorcycle importers, they pretty much have one of every Aprilia and Moto Guzzi models as a demo bike. The ride is super smooth, plenty torque as you roll on. You'll see I'm not wearing any gloves. The vibrations through my hands are very, very minimal. Ample torque as you roll on in top gear. You don't need to change gears up and down. It's just fantastic. The gear change is very positive. You immediately know you're in the gear. There's no fear of false neutrals. The input on the clutch is absolutely minimal, and on that point you have the gear indicator up front, so really great. The sound system works, no complaints there. However, past 60 or 80 kilometers per hour it is pretty pointless. You don't hear it that much. However, this is not a speedster. This is a bike you want to go cruising down, looking cool and enjoying these sights. Woodbridge Island in Cape Town with Table Mountain in the background. Please remember to subscribe, give us a like, a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this MGX 21 Flying Fortress by Moto Guzzi.